All right, this is Mr. Mark back again for Life Science Lesson Plans, Chapter 12, Introduction to Plants. And this is Lesson 5, Chapter 12, Review, Part 1. You are welcome to do the whole thing in one day, but typically we do the chapter review in two parts because it's kind of long. And when you're done with Part 1, remember to watch the following video. Difference between angiosperms and gymnosperm plants. And please take notes for this video. Watch it as often as you need to, or as many times as you need to, and take 7 to 10 notes. All right, and here we go. So, we're going to start, as we usually do, choosing the correct word to complete the sentence. Non-vascular plant, phloem, pistil, pollen, rhizoid, rhizome, sepal, stamen, vascular plant, and xylem. So we won't use all of these, but we will use at least 6. And here we go. Number 1, a blank is the male part of a flower. And you can find the answer to that on page 320. Hopefully you still have all of the paperwork for your chapter sections. And the answer there is stamen. A stamen is the male part of a flower. Number 2, blank transports water and nutrients through a plant. And you can find the answer for that on page 314. Either find it or confirm the answer you chose. And the answer there is xylem. Xylem transports water and nutrients through a plant. And number 3, an underground stem that produces new leaves and roots is called a blank. And you can find the answer for that on page 306 if you don't remember. And this is a good chance. The chapter review is really a good brain exercise. It's a chance to try to recall something you've read recently and look up the information, whether you remember it or not, just to confirm or to refresh your memory about what it is. And that kind of helps things stick better, and it just builds brain material. So that's really good. It actually builds brain connections. Your brain stays the same size because your head doesn't get bigger, and it would hurt if it did. So let me see. Number 3, the answer for that is rhizome. An underground stem that produces new leaves and roots is called a rhizome. Number 4, the male gametophytes of flowers are contained in structures called blank. And you can find the answer for that on page 306. And the answer there is pollen. The male gametophytes of flowers are contained in structures called pollen. Number 5, a blank does not have specialized tissue for transporting water. And you can find the answer for that on page 304. And the answer there is a non-vascular plant. Does not have specialized tissues for transporting water. Number 6, blank transports food through a plant. And you can find the answer for that on page 314. And the answer there is phloem. Phloem transports food through a plant. Okay, for numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10, I'm going to read the questions. You should have them there also. And you can either circle the answers on this page or write the answers on the numbers on the review page that I printed out for you. Number 7, which of the following statements about angiosperms is not true? A, their seeds are protected by cones. B, they produce seeds. C, they provide animals with food. Or D, they have flowers. And you could find the answer for this on pages 312 and 313. It's a lot of information, so it's not all on one page. It takes a little longer to find more information. The answer would be A. Their seeds are protected by cones. So angiosperms are not cone-bearing trees. Number 8, roots. A, supply water and nutrients. B, anchor and support a plant. C, store surplus food. Or D, all of the above. You can find the answer for that on page 314. And it may be that I just remember this from many years of study, but I would hope that you would know roots do a lot of things. So the answer is D, all of the above. Okay. Oh, yeah, number 9. Which of the following statements about plants and green algae is true? A, plants and green algae may have a common ancestor. B, green algae are plants. C, plants and green algae have cuticles. Or D, none of the above. And you can find the answer for this on page 303. If you're not sure, look it up. This one can seem tricky. Because the answer is A, plants and green algae may have a common ancestor. Algae are not plants. Even though they're green, it's because they have chlorophyll just like plants. Number 10. In which part of a leaf does most photosynthesis take place? A, palisade layer. B, phloem. C, xylem. Or D, epidermis. And you can find the answer to that on page 318. And the answer is A. Photosynthesis happens in the palisade layer. All right, turning the page. Doing number 12. The 4 main groups of plants are non-vascular plants, seedless vascular plants, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Or B, nope vascular plants, seedful vascular plants, gymnoperms, and angiosperms. Or C, non-vascular seedless plants, non-vascular plants, gymnosperms, and Anglican sperms. Anglican sperms, yeah, okay. Or D, novacanicular plants, seedy vascular plants, gymnoplasts, and angiophytes. Well, I might have gotten a little carried away with that one because there's only one answer that seems fairly obvious to me. But you can find the answer on page 302 if you're not sure. But do look at the words carefully because I made up a lot of words. And the answer there is A, non-vascular plants, seedless vascular plants, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Number 13, big A. The non-vascular plants are A, mosses, liverworts, and hornets. Oh, that's mooses. Yeah, E is mooses. Living in Alaska, we should know about that. F, mosses, liverworts, and horned owls. G, mosses, liverworts, and hornworts. H, mooses, liverworts, and hornworts. And you can find the answer to that on page 302. This one, a little more confusing. You have to read a little more carefully. Hopefully, you know, non-vascular plants do not include mooses. So it's not E or H. And they don't include horned owls, so it's not F. The answer is G, mosses, liverworts, and hornworts. And B is just, there's something wrong with that, so we're skipping that one. Don't even think about it. Number 14. Scientists think green algae and plants have a common ancestor because both have the same A, chlorophyll, bell walls, storm food as stark, and a 3-stage life cycle. B, chlorophyll, cell wells, store bad food, and a 2 popsicles. C, chlorophyll, cell walls, store food as starch, and a 2-stage life. Or D, ferns, horsetails, and club mosses. You can find the answer for this on page 303, but if you're thinking, you'd see I did not really provide a lot of good options here. There really is only one good option, because I made up some words like chlorophyll and chlorophyll, and then there's one that just lists 3 types of plants. So the answer is C, chlorophyll, cell walls, store food as starch, and a 2-stage life. Number 15. Seedless plants, gymnosperms, and angiosperms are important to the environment for different reasons. Match the following. E, F, G, and H, angiosperms, gymnosperms, non-vascular plants, and seedless vascular plants. And the options are 1, 2, 3, 4. First, plants in new environment. Prevent soil erosion, able to grow in thin soil. Beautify for gardens and parks, and provide food for animals. You could find these answers on page 312, 310, 304, and 305, but I'm going to give the answers because I'm running out of time. So E, angiosperms, is 4. F, gymnosperms, is 3. G, non-vascular plants, is 1. And H, seedless vascular plants, is 2. Thank you, and see you for part 2.